objective of this demo is to show you how value of lights and darks can create a push and pull in a drawing. So, for example, in this example of the horse, the back of the horse is light and the background behind it is dark. So that dark is going to push the background back, whereas the light is forward. Now, sometimes the opposite is true. You can see here that the hind leg of the horse is darker than the background. It's those value differences that create depth in a drawing. So with most people's drawings, you start out with an outline, and that's kind of what I have right now on the horse. I have the hindquarters outlined and the leg outlined. So I'm going to briefly show you how just placing a value on one side of that, one light and the other contrasting, is going to create depth in your drawing. So right now I only have an outline. Pretty much all of square 9 is dark. So I'm going to take a darker pencil, a B value, or your ebony, and I'm going to shade that all in dark, all dark. And it's okay if I go over my outline for the horse, because I'm going to show you how you can erase out values. So I've created a dark background and I'm going to blend it out. I'm going to go back over it with even more pressure in my pencil to really darken it out. This time I am going to pay a little bit more attention to that line. Stay away from it a bit. Place that dark, blending it out, especially around the hindquarters there. And now the hindquarters is lighter, and I'm going to erase out to create a little bit of emphasis there. Now the hindquarters of the horse looks like it is in front. So it's as simple as that value differentiation that creates it. Now let's go down to the leg, and I'll show you how the opposite can be true. So I'm going to carry out this value. It goes in my reference from darker to light. So I'm going to create a little bit of a value scale where it's lighter here at the bottom. And again, I like to blend out the backgrounds that are a little more out of focus and less detail, less textured, but I can go back in there and create some of that those kind of dark specks that are in that background to give it kind of the illusion of the ground. So let me continue this all the way down just to show you, even though there's no texture there. So now my background is lighter all through here, and that hind leg though is really dark. So now when I go in with the dark, it's that value contrast that brings this leg forward and lets the background remain back, further back. So it's not always true that creating a dark behind something will push it back. Sometimes it's true that the foreground is darker than the background. So that's just how you turn an outline into something that has depth. And just those two sets of values alone create a lot more depth on the horse. So you would continue that all the way around. I could go ahead and carry that over. I'll just expand my demo just a little bit more for you. And of course I have more texture that I need to incorporate. And a lot of people, I've also shown how you can erase out some textures. So for example, if I had a more close-up details on the horse, like the hair and the eyes and stuff, it would be a little bit easier to do this, but I'll show you kind of a little bit of a version anyways. You can erase hairs. You can kind of see here, there what I did. So giving that contrasting background and then erasing details out of it. If you have ghost lines from where if you press too hard on your grid, then you would need to get in there with a sharper pencil. So now I've got depth just by creating a contrasting value behind. So that's what you need to do. Turn your outlines of your drawing into information with depth.